Hello everybody, WaffleTime here. Aha! I've caught you gamers lacking. You thought this is going to be an average run-of-the-mill WaffleTime introduction experience, but no, it's not. Pop quiz. An eyeball within a heart within a brain that for some reason has teeth and tentacles is flying towards you at Mach speed with absolutely zero regard for how you feel physically. You have very few options to retaliate. Will you A. Throw a spiky ball at it, B. Throw a chain at it, or C. Expose its search history from 2014 when videos pertaining to passion-filled moments with hot pockets were relevant for some odd reason? What do you choose? Time's a ticking, the eyeballs and tentacles are getting closer and closer as we speak, and you don't want to find yourself on the old animated category of a special little website we all know of. Unfortunately, statistics show 99.8% of you are incorrect. While you get half points for choosing option C, you get full points if you answered knowing that this was in fact a trick question. What you're meant to do is combine your chain and your spiky ball in order to make a flail to defend yourself from things that have no business being within breath smelling distance, which is precisely what we're going to be doing today. Today, we will find the answer to your burning question: can you beat Terraria in Master Mode using only flails? Before we jump in, I want to make it clear that I will not be spawning in with a flail, but I'll try and get one as soon as possible. Then as soon as I have one, it's nothing but flailing from that moment forth. I'll also be using Fargo's Mutant mod simply for convenience, as well as a couple others which I'll put down in the description if you're interested. Lastly, please do be advised that this was recorded before the release of 1.4.4. With all that being said, let's jump right in, shall we? We instantly load into the world in great agonizing and paralyzing fear as to how in the blue fuck we're going to get a mace. We plot as we chop down some trees, epic gamer Fortnite style, as we truly have two options in order to really get this playthrough crack-a-lackin'. Option 1, we can start digging and exploring, and maybe, and I mean fucking maybe, we have a slim chance of finding ourselves a mace to start with. Or, if we wind up having corruption, we could skip several steps ahead by finding bombs and a bit of gear and getting very, very lucky with shadow orb drops in order to get the ballo hurt. That is, if we have the corruption, which knowing our luck is a fat fucking chance. Having this said, we 360 no-scope some housing for the future NPCs to move into, hoping that everyone is able to move in quickly so we can experience juicy game progression at speeds that are unhealthy and jarring for our mortal flesh. We run a tad bit to the left to see there's some cactus armor sitting for the taking, however it's still in plant form, so we get to chopping immediately. One of our first foes, a vulture, tries to pick our brains, not just with words, but instead his goddamn toes in his mouth, but fails like the dumb no brain cell having dingle dongle he is. His cousin, however, held more than one single brain cell and somehow managed to sick his dogs on me in a way that was detrimental for my physical well-being. Having this said, we make some cactus armor and head out with a head full of steam in order to go explore. We make some cactus armor and begin carving down into the earth where there aren't zombies that could pull my spine out and beat me to death with it. We open a chest full of shell shock war flashbacks to our boomerangs only video, run to the right for literally 2 seconds and get publicly degraded by a swarm of eaters. We are not pleased with this public degradation, not one bit, but we are quite pleased that it was an eater publicly degrading us and not a face monster, because this means we could get our hands on the old ball of hurt, which as its name suggests, heat seeks straight for our enemies' nutsacks. Wherever some enemies' fat nards are, the ball of hurt, aka the vasectomizer, will find them. With this information fresh in our cranium, we head over to the left instead to potentially get some bombs and have the demolitionist move in order to get our hands on that vasectomizer and weaponize it. Within about 5 seconds, we find ourselves in the jungle and are promptly sent to an appointment with Dr. Bones, who Dr. Bones us in a way that would certainly get me demonetized if I were to go into great detail on. We go down our elevator a bit more and find some stupid fucking beach loot. Perfect! That is exactly what we needed in this flails only run. A breathing reed and the capability to make sandcastles. Perfect! We make ourselves a tin helmet to feel slightly more secure about our looks, then go mining even more and find ourselves a cloud in a bottle. Traditionally, loot I could not be upset about in the slightest. However, under the circumstances that I have been poking slimes that could eat glass without blinking with a goddamn copper stick, I am not extraordinarily pleased. What I am in fact extraordinarily pleased about is that we did pull some bombs from that chest, resulting in our sweet tiny baby man demolitionist to move in shortly after. Thank the high fucking heavens, we have the ability to go get an awesome weapon now to truly start this playthrough. We buy some bombs and immediately swing to the right where we find the actual most conveniently placed tunnel to the underground corruption of all time. We quickly barricade ourselves in to hide from the eaters who have no idea we have the capability of wielding the vasectomizer, and bomb out the first shadow orb, which gives us a musket. No problem, we knew the strap was coming first. Where the concern truly begins to arise is when we get a vile thorn on our second orb bursting session. And while this weapon can probably give any enemy in this game an immediate urinary tract infection upon being hit with it, it is a of no use to us in this playthrough. We have no choice but to, and I quote, raw dog it to the last orb in hopes that we get our beautiful weapon. As the bomb blows up the final orb, I see a band of star power drop, then have quite literally 1 second to fear for my fucking life before we inevitably get vored. This playthrough is now tainted and we will be looked at differently by every single one of our NPCs, as we have officially and unfortunately been fucking wormed. God damn it. We quickly rush back and blow up our 4th orb, which gives us, you guessed it, another stupid, idiot, dumb, imbecilic, silly mode musket. God damn it. Want to guess what we got on our 5th orb? Yeah? God damn it! Ooh, I'm gonna lose it. Upon our 6th orb, before being wormed in a far more gruesome and potentially rated X manner than I ever once thought possible, we see the shining silhouette of a vasectomizer fall gracefully into our inventory. This right here. This will allow us to start slapping the balls around of the enemies that once slapped ours. And brother, we have some balls to slap. With this being said, we pile drive our way into the cavern layer, ball blasting the mobs as we go along, entirely flourishing with our new weapon. In order to collect some ores and potentially yummy accessories to prepare for the boss battles to come. We begin to stack up on loads of ores, then begin to get fucking boned. Wormed. Boned. When will it end? Now that we're home, cleansed from that boning, we make ourselves some mixed match armor to decrease the chance of being boned in the future. Then go on to make ourselves a platinum pickaxe to mine a tad bit faster, potentially saving our delicate, smoothed over asses from the various mobs who all seem to have an infatuation for Terraria player salad tossing. We run over to the left and utterly fail the piranha potion drinking at 3 AM challenge, then make our way into the underground jungle to get some delicious underground jungle loot. Ah, here we go. Loot that is not going to help us in the slightest. A radar. Excellent. That way we could look at it and detect that we're about to die in 3 seconds when a mob is nearby. Ah, a seaweed to summon a turtle. That'll help us have a little turtle witness to watch us be disemboweled by eldritch deities. We also managed to find a hornet stinger lodged directly into our frontal lobe. Excellent. That was a fruitful endeavor. I am very happy that we ventured into the underground jungle. In order to help shove these emotions down until they eventually resurface in our late 40s when we have a family to take it out on, we quickly make a shelter for our nurse and arms dealer. Ah yes, cactus housing. Excellent method of bottling it all up deep down inside. After taking time to enact the healthiest method of processing emotions, we make a elevator in order to get some more ores and loot. We get a flare gun. That will help us light our NPC's housing on fire the next time there's a minor inconvenience that occurs, resulting in us snapping entirely. Awesome. Positive mindset, positive outlook on life, positively fucking decimated by a handcrafted, specially wrapped red special. Ah, it was shoe spikes we died for. Alright, I guess. Oh, I am close. Hermes boots! Finally! Thank the high fucking heavens, I was one bad accessory away from turning this channel into an obnoxious vlogging channel and losing all touch with my sense of humanity. Directly after that, we obtain a magic mirror which sends me backwards on the evolutionary chart. How did we get this good of loot in a sequence? How we good loot? Loot. We get some more ores and loot, then make a quick house for our sweet, smooth-skinned demolitionist down near hell, before heading back to the safety that lies above ground. We go on to finish sprucing up our armor set in order to prepare us for battle, effectively dripping us out beyond measure. It's as they say, drip or drown, and brother, I have no business to do underwater or in the ocean in this playthrough, so I reasonably have no suspicion of us drowning at any point in this playthrough. So with that being said, I am safely able to assume within great statistical probability that we are in fact equipped with the drip. With our newly acquired drip drop, we make a quick arena setup for the Eye of Cthulhu, which simply consists of a single row of platforms. Then we charge headfirst into the underground jungle yet again in order to hopefully find some better accessories for this battle. We instead find a flail. Geez, fucking thanks. That's nice. We also find ourselves a staff of regrowth. Cool, I guess. We find the face of God weeping at the things we say in these unholy playthroughs when a jungle bat replaces our vital organs. Then we find ourselves making NPC housing again to feel all better about this absolutely diabolically useless goddamn endeavor. This is when the thought occurs. We do in fact ball, so why have we not even considered fuck it? We grab what potions we have and prepare to battle the Eye of Cthulhu with the dog shit accessories we currently hold. Why? Because fuck it, we ball. This battle in its entirety was none other than a simple learning experience. The first phase goes swimmingly, as I see that we can directly attack the eye with the minimal range of the flail, while also spinning the ever-loving fuck out of the flail in order to defend ourselves from his eyeball dashes, as well as his tiny online eyeball simps that attack us for not donating our left kidney, our right testicle, and both eyeballs to their beloved streamer overlord. The second phase is a tad bit more frightening, as it is much harder to get an attack to land when this overinflated eyeball is properly breaking it the fuck down on the dance floor. This bad boy is inflicting inflicting scoliosis on everyone who can see him with the odd curvature of his eyeball spine and the absolutely unnecessary amount of fucking speed he is able to obtain with it. Perhaps it works as a slingshot. Who knows? One thing I do know is I'm in great and utter fear for my life as he enters Spine Blaster mode. Angry we have a normal spine. He loses all control and dashes like a deranged animal, leaving us no choice but to spin our flail as hard as humanly possible. With this method, he eventually dashes directly into our infinite circle of ball-busting power and showers spaghetti noodle eyeball intestines all over us, which in any other case I would be quite disgruntled and traumatized by, but in this case I absolutely fucking bask in. We now have ourselves a Shield of Cthulhu, an accessory that'll be glued to us for the vast majority of this playthrough. Feeling a surge of confidence, we craft up a summon for the King Slime, who apparently has had quite enough of being absolutely bullied by us, slips us 9 laxatives in our cafeteria lunch food, and proceeds to punch us in the throat after we shit our pants in front of our entire college class. This analogy is perfection in this scenario because not only did we get our ass beat by something that should have stood no chance against us, but we are also downright, to the core, in our heart and mind, sent to the outer edge of the fucking galaxy by humiliation. How did this happen? Why did this happen? Who am I? With quite literally nothing left to lose, we do some quick exploring and begin to fashion an arena for the Eater of Worlds. We begin to fashion an arena for the Eater of Worlds and sleep the physical and emotional degradation away to prepare for battle. We throw down a couple of campfires for some boosted life regen and summon him up immediately. Now, hear me out, the flail works phenomenally against the Eater of Worlds. It can pierce multiple segments of its fat, cancerous, disease-ridden, foul-smelling body, and we can spin our flail around at the speed of sound in order to combat him hawking fat fucking loogies at our foreheads that he launches in hopes of feeling better about being the reason for his parents' divorce. What does not work phenomenally is taking any sort of damage at all from him, as he kicks harder than a horse who found out about the absolute fucking atrocities people draw about him on the internet. We slowly chip away at his health, trying not to split him into multiple equally as foul-smelling segments, but failing nonetheless, as we eventually have several fat, disgusting worms circling around our wormless body, and brother, they would all love to worm us. It gets dangerously, and I mean dangerously fucking close to being a one-way ticket to Wormtown, but we spin our flail as hard as we can to give ourselves some time to heal, and make great use of the Shield of Cthulhu's dash in order to defend our wormless bodies. Much to the distaste of our sense of smell, we break the Worm Man down into very small, extraordinarily less intimidating segments, and take them out with our flail one by one. Eventually, with many nose plugs and awkward shirt-over-nose interactions, we manage to squeak out yet another epic gamer dub over the Eater of Worlds. Life is triple-double got combo good now, because not only do we have a new sick-ass accessory, the Worm Scarf, but we can now make a pickaxe strong enough to exploit hell of its natural resources. And god damn it, we have 19 car batteries to throw in that lava ocean, so we get directly to business. We make ourselves a nightmare pickaxe, collect an absolutely obscene amount of obsidian, get some obsidian skin potions, and plunge headfirst into the lava in hell in order to collect an amount of hellstone equivalent to the amount of times that Scarface has had a clogged nose. We collect an unnecessary amount of hellstone in this episode's epic gamer mowing session, dodging all of the "you sound like insert other content creator name here" comments that make us want to eat a concrete divider, then promptly head to the surface to make ourselves a full set of hellstone armor and tools. Drip, and I cannot emphasize this enough, or drown, and we got the fucking snorkel. We take our drip and our snorkel so we don't drown a bit to the right of our base in order to make a quick invasion defense farm to prevent the pirates from giving us the clap, and also prevent the goblins from pegging us. But WaffleTime, why would goblins need to peg you? They're dominantly men, so wouldn't they just be able to— No, they wouldn't. And here's why. Go ahead and reforge a hard mode weapon or any high tier accessory once with the Goblin Tinkerer, and please come back to me and just try to look me in the eyes and tell me that he has a dick and balls. Exactly. Nothing there. Smooth aerodynamic skin patch. So yeah, prevent the goblins from pegging us. They don't have wieners and we do, so there, discussion over with, done. Speaking of goblins who all don't have a wiener, these wienerless bastards heard the shit we were talking on them and decided to pay us a visit, so we hide in our coward pyramid until the event is over with. Cool, calm, collected, fucking thriving. Now that the pesky anti-wiener crowd is out of our hair and in the lava instead, we could go find the Goblin Stinkerer. But first, we have a bone to pick with a special little someone who gave us an atomic wedgie in the distant past. That's right, who else but King Slime. Every single flail swing that has landed in his fat, loathsome body is one less therapy session I'm gonna need in the future, which not only saves the sanctity of our credit card a small inkling of an amount, but also reduces our total therapy sessions needed to only 1,097, an astounding difference to where we were before this battle. I feel good. I feel safe, sound, and ready to explore the underground jungle in order to find a hive, and apparently in order to get exploded into 1,000 equally annoyed and inconvenienced pieces. God damn it! Through looting the jungle, we managed to find ourselves an anklet of the wind, some cute little flower boots to look cute in. Finally, some honest to fucking god feral claws, and a goblin tinkerer who is thankfully guarded by several mobs who proceed to shoot stingers through my cerebral cortex. Awesome! New stingers in my esophagus in Terraria today. This one's my favorite so far. Nice job, team. Fuck! We go back down and not only find a juicy hive ripe for the picking, but find our beloved goblin cuck bound on top of it, who we immediately point at and make fun of, and also buy some size 14 or 15 rocket boots depending on the brand in order to make some sick-ass spectre boots. After collecting a handful of life crystals, we head up and use them all to max out our health, then make our spectre boots and immediately turn them into lightning boots. This means we are now fast as fuck, son! So we do as anyone in their right state of mind would do and grind out a couple Eye of Cthulhu's in order to feel the warm shower of internal organs fall over our heads to really celebrate our victory in getting some actually worthwhile accessories. We are not sociopaths. This is regular. With quite literally no goddamn time to waste, we lug our happy asses to the right, over to the dungeon in order to take out a giant bone that learned to fly. We quickly fashion an arena in order to give this flying skull an extra bone, but this one would be lodged directly into his eye socket. As soon as night falls, we begin the battle. We drag his big bony ass back and forth, to and fro, there to there, right to left, side to side, and take out his unreasonably large man hands in order to put a dent in that tremendous, bald, sleek and shiny dome of his. He shoots skulls at us. We shoot various insults back in order to directly harm his emotions, as his big ass head has a lot of defense. Hey, Johnny Sins called, says he wants his hair back. I'm a religious man with holistic values. I don't like pornographic comparisons very much. Fucking got him. Epic gamer style. Another thing that is quite epic about this dub is the fact that we now have access to the dungeon, meaning we could potentially get a new flail, as well as a shadow key to get an even better flail than that. Anyways, we nearly immediately find ourselves a dungeon slime who vored a key and use it to unlock our first chest, which contains a useless goddamn magic missile, but an extraordinarily useful shadow key. We also find a mechanic, free her, then just leave her down in the dungeon instead of escorting her out or trying to save her. We get an ugly, stinky Muramasa, a beautiful, delicious smelling cobalt shield, and with this and a shadow key in our inventory, we head on up in order to prepare for shadow chest hunting so we could get that juicy Sun Fury. We also take the time from our very busy, very important, and top secret Insano mode schedule to build a sick-ass setup for the Chippy's couch we obtained from Skeletron. Why, you ask? Because Chippy is fucking epic. That's why. In no time at all, we begin the pillaging of the visually agonizing demon frat boy dorms, where every single one has a poster of a Lamborghini and another poster of a semi-nude woman on the wall to show what they like, I guess. Having this said, we begin the panty raid and start busting open chests. We find ourselves a Dark Lance, Magnet, Dark Lance, Flame Lash, Magnet, Dark Lance, a beautiful fucking Sun Fury. And just to wrap things up, since we've almost successfully looted the entirety of hell to get our Sun Fury, Magnet again, perfect. Thank the high heavens that this is over with. If I see another shadow chest without playthrough specific loot in it, I am going to throw up on my keyboard and never clean it off. I'll just keep playing through the SOG. We quickly reforge our Sun Fury and grab our items to take on none other than the great Queen P herself. We waste no time in finding a hive and clearing out a rather fucking gargantuan arena to take on the stinger-wielding, insect mandible possessing, infinite tiny bee producing abomination. We swiftly add some quick fixes to our arena, then summon her up immediately. While we don't necessarily have to defeat Queen P to really advance this playthrough, as she drops nothing indispensable for us, it is still a means to an end. So we slap the perkiness right out of this bee's thorax with the force of one demonic Sun Fury that has a thing for harming insects. The Sun Fury goes to absolute fucking town on the Queen P, partially because the Sun Fury has no ears or eyes and cannot hear or see the Queen P attempting to sell Gamer Bee urine to all of her hive that serve as her stream servants. We do not have the same gift as the Sun Fury. We have to see and hear all of this, so we add that to the list of things to freak out and break something over at therapy in the future, and keep on flailing her health down. We dodge and use our Shield of Cthulhu, spin the ever-loving fuck out of our flail until eventually, with one giblet of luck, we manage to squeak out yet another Fortnite victory royale. This leaves us with one boss left in pre-hard mode, which, as you all may know by now, will either go phenomenally enough to fix my marriage or bad enough to where I can no longer maintain an erection for the rest of my existence. With this being said, we stock up on potions, do a bit of reforging, make an unreasonably large arena in hell for the Wall of Flesh, simply to compensate for our own size and stature. We run way over to the end, and seeing no other way to prepare for this battle, we immediately chuck the voodoo doll into the fiery pits of hell to summon up the Wall of Flush. That's right, he's a toilet now because I am simply hoping he eats shit as most toilets do and dies on the first attempt. All is going extremely well during this battle so far. We're able to maintain a healthy distance from the wall despite the fact that we're melee users, which is a large perk. We also do a very high amount of damage to the hungry and try our best not to get touched by them, as I really don't feel like having to censor this portion of the video. Everyone knows exactly what happens when these things get a hold of you, and we will be taking no part in it whatsoever. As we chip away at his health, he begins speeding up to a speed that should quite literally be a war crime, as the sound barrier is shattering 10 million times a second because this fat piece of shit doesn't know how to slow his goddamn roll. Relax. Relax. Relax! I am in disbelief that we have made it this far, but the final stretch is really what counts. With our health slowly deteriorating and our ass cheeks clenched hard enough to compress a phone book into a single flat page, a clutch occurs that tacked off yet another 2 years off my mandatory future therapy sessions, and we pull through what appears to be a first try dub against a Wall of Flesh. Holy fucking shit. What do we do with this power? Everything is going far too goddamn good in this run right now, and I live under crippling anxiety as to when my entire world is going to be flipped upside down and beaten to death with crowbars. With no time to waste worrying about the future, we instead worry about the short term and plan for nothing. Break a bunch of demon altars and enter what appears to be Wraith Hell. Holy fuck! We get palladium, orichalcum, and titanium, emphasizing the tight in titanium. Why? Because titanium is tight as fuck, and we never get it. Titanium. Tight. Tight, tight, tight. We immediately go on yet another mowing session in order to collect all the yum-yums, starting with palladium, then to orichalcum, and lastly to titanium. We spend a lot of time collecting titanium scattered all over our world, then promptly go to the top in order to make a full set of titanium armor. Drip or fucking drown. God damn it, we're dripping beyond measure. To add to our drip, we grab some pixies by the wings and stuff them into a meat grinder to get pixie dust, in order to make gas station boner pills that give anyone who takes it an immediate heart attack, and also dry out the already nearly extinct population of wyverns in order to make ourselves quite literally the manliest fucking set of wings anyone has ever laid eyes on. That's right, we make some motherfucking fairy wings to add to our ultimate gamer swag collection. And boy does it feel good to have some wings. Sick ass armor? Check. Manliest goddamn set of wings ever? Check. How about a sick ass weapon to clap thy cheeketh of thy enemy with? We begin building an artificial infected desert biome above our normal desert in order to have biome specific mummies spawn, so we could get the light and dark shards depending on how we're theming out our desert at the time. All in order to obtain the Tao of Pow. Our weapon of choice requires a small bit of grinding, and god damn it, my middle fucking name is Nose McGrindstone. So we pace back and forth, killing hollow variant mummies first, then shortly after killing corruption variant mummies. It certainly takes a fair bit of time, but with some luck and some soul grinding in the caverns to get both types of souls, we now have all of the components that we need to make this new streamlined, efficient, sleek, and sexy new flail. We craft that shit up, immediately reforge it, then go on to reforge a few of our other weapons to the dismay of our wallets. I hate you, Goblin Tinkerer. I hate you, and I have ill intent towards you in any future endeavors you may hold. So, weapons, armor, wings, check. But how about accessories? What a perfect way to conclude a ridiculous amount of grinding with more grinding. We go on mimic hunting duty, which is a fucking nightmare beyond belief because I hollowed out a tremendous area for it, but nonetheless. Battle as many as we could find and gather all the components we need for a Charm of Myths, a Star Veil, and a Power Glove. Now we are properly stacked with a badass weapon, some saucy ass armor, wings that drip, and accessories that we could use as a replacement for the empty void we call a personality on ourselves. We quickly add a few layers onto our Eye of Cthulhu arena in order to turn it into a mechanical boss arena. Without skipping a goddamn beat, we wait until nighttime and summon the Destroyer immediately, which conveniently spawns at the same exact time as a blood moon. Perfect! On the bright side, however, our weapon is absolutely fucking shredding this chump. He didn't even stand a chance to begin with. We deal with his pestilence of probes while being positively on our A game with dodging his head, which other than being overwhelmed by the probes is the only real way you could get clobber knocked beyond measure in this battle. We have a few close calls here and there, but above all else, our Tao of Pow lays the WWE Super Summer Slam Smackdown on the Destroyer's bitch ass, which is just phenomenal as we now have access to asphalt, which we quickly begin making a long platform out of in order to fight the other mechs, but we also have access to hollowed bars. Unfortunately, however, we do not have enough hollowed bars. We are simply not hollow enough on the inside and must obtain the full armor set, so we get the delicious set bonus of not being able to feel happiness, sadness, anger, fear, annoyance, annoyance, or the feeling of great dread we get when we remember that people wore outfits covered in emojis. I would gladly sacrifice my ability to feel happiness if I never had to see one of those atrocities ever again in my entire life. What were we thinking back then? What were we thinking, collectively as a unit? Anyways, quite contrary to how emoji clothes make me feel, we summon the Destroyer again when something beautiful happens. Just watch. Watch. Crunch. Get crunched, bitch. Get put into the hydraulic press, dick nose. That was mind-bending, and I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did, because after that, I was able to sleep more than 2 hours at a time for the first time in years. No time for sleep, however, as we have hollowed armor to make and ass to eat. And my brother and Yoba, I already ate all of the ass. Thank you all so much for tuning in to today's Certified Assman moment. Certified Assman out. We make our hollowed armor sleep the day away, then immediately charge up to the next mechanical boss on our list, which is the twins, who unfortunately are not quite as satisfying as defeating the mechanical cocksleeve destroyer. As a matter of fact, it fucking sucks fighting these chumps with a flail. The range we're able to hit the twins at is more awkward than the silence between you and your father after he mentions how similar you look to the mailman. Similar to the father in this scenario, we are filled to the brim with immeasurable dread and realization. We are simply doing no damage at all to the twins, and it is a wacky and strangely paced fight. We first target Spasmatism, then laugh, cheer, stomp, and piss on his grave right in front of Retinazer, who quite literally can only express pain through an occasional tear if the weather is moist enough, or through shooting laser beams, and as he is a flying abomination built for destruction and the death of mankind, he chooses the laser ass blasting method of coping, which he sorely pays for as we chip his health all the way down into nothingness. That was miserable. Thank God we don't have to do that again. Now there is an even bigger fish to fry, a bigger emotional fish, so to speak, as the emotions we feel when we have to summon Skeletron Prime turn entirely into rage and dissent. If I had to describe what I felt knowing that Skeletron Prime is alive and well currently, it would only be described as permanently having thorns in your shoes and you have to walk to live. I can't even begin to explain the amount of fury I have built up towards this metal exorcist head spinning, cannon toting, ball gripper wielding piece of shit, as it is impossible. It will take the National fucking Guard, the entirety of the Avengers, and the full might of Comer fucking Taj standing against me to even get me close to stop beating his goddamn metal ass chrome dome in with rocks and mallets until the red is out of his eyes. Whew. Thank goodness that battle is over with. Now we could finally hang out for a while and AFK to have some life roots and chlorophytes spawn in. I'm a happy camper, yet simultaneously in great fear of our future emotional devastation by Nebula Pillar. No time to worry about that now, however, because upon entering the jungle we immediately find a bulb into which we think, fuck it, and summon up the leafy MILF Plantera, equipped with only hollowed armor in the Tao of Pow. The first half of this boss fight goes according to plan. We walk in circles around the pool, flexing our muscles while Plantera tries to tan, which immediately brings her into phase 2, wine drunk mode, which is absolutely petrifying to us as we had no idea she was capable of this measure of strength and prowess. We are in fear for our lives. Who knew that the slang term cougar could apply so well in this situation? But not in a fun and sexy cougar sense, but rather the, I was out on a hike and a cougar bit off my fucking leg type of sense. Nonetheless, we dodge her dashes and fell swoops as much as humanly possible while the Tao of Pow does our work for us. Thankfully, since she's so gobsmackingly, jaw-droppingly thick, we are able to hit her twice, oftentimes even more on account of one swing of our flail being 1/10 of the size of her badonkadonk. We keep on dodging, keep on running for our fucking lives after taking a single hit that takes more than half of our health down, and with a sprinkle of top-shelf cologne, we are able to woo Plantera successfully into giving us her juicy bag of loot and treasure. Did we just get a sugar mama? I can only hope so, but I truly don't know. The mystery is what makes it fun. What I do know right now is that there is a small puntable pile of mud named Golem that needs to be kicked hard enough to level a building immediately. With this being said, we begin on our hunt for chlorophyte and life roots in order to upgrade our armor set so we don't die in 2 hits. We have a field day on our epic gamer mowing session. Go make a full set of chlorophyte armor and have a completely mediocre and gray time finding a completely mediocre and gray amount of life fruits. Nonetheless, despite the hunt for life fruits going as successfully as Australia's feudal attempts at winning a war versus emus in the early 1930s, we eventually succeed and maxed out our health. After this, we take to grinding out Plantera an unholy amount of times in order to finally get our hands on the Flower Pow. We use said Flower Pow to lube up the wall of flesh to get an emblem, make an Avenger emblem, then make a mechanical glove to really leave a mark when slapping Golem around silly. We charge directly into the temple and are terrified when we see it resembles Instagram Reels videos that send me into an enraged and panicked state. The first layer consists of the clearly fake start my morning with with me routines. Hello guys, I normally wake up and start the day with an hour of working out, then an hour of yoga to really clear my mind before I write my morning journal for 3 hours just before I make breakfast, which consists of natural coconut crepes and fruit. Nope, no one, not a soul believes these are real. No fucking way you don't wake up, lay in bed for an hour contemplating life, scratch your man balls or woman balls for that matter, then get up and eat a Hot Pocket before a 12-hour work shift. Get fucking real. The second layer consists of any video ever that has the oh no, oh no, oh no, no audio. The video could be a perfectly fine video, even a funny one on occasion, but the second I hear that high-pitched, unholy, damningly overused fucking audio, I would like to, I fucking yearn to chew rocks until my teeth are ground down to the gums. It makes me want to chew chips vertically until I have no more roof of my mouth. That shit makes me want to swallow chips sideways so it scrapes all of my internal organs on the way down. That shit makes me want to. The third layer consists of the social experiments, quote unquote, that are done outside of stores, clubs, bars, you name it. Don't get me wrong, some of them are funny, lighthearted and fine, but Jesus Christ, if I see one more of these videos interviewing someone just trying to go along with their day and asking them something like, would you let the squad hit? I am going to commit arson. That shit makes me cringe so hard that my skin turns inside out. Fuck. Last but not least, we burst into the final room where we can see the shadow of Gollum performing an unspeakable act. Instagram Reels acting challenges. There are some great actors and actresses out there, don't get me wrong, but some of these scenarios that are created for these acting challenges are just simply fucking redundant. Yes, here you are, students. Here's an ancient tablet written by the gods. Only children of gods can understand the language. Yeah, teacher, I can understand this. No, you can't. You're so stupid. You can't read that. You're just a stupid, ordinary kid who doesn't know anything. Let's see here. Tengo un pito pequeño y huevos. Nunca he hablado con una mujer antes. Wow, I can read it after all. Oh my god. Oh my god, he can fucking read it. He's the chosen one, everyone. These tropes make me sick. It makes me feel awkward. Second-hand embarrassment. I simply shrivel up and die upon seeing one of these, so goddammit we deal with it the only way we can. Violence. We swing our sexy flower pow and shatter Gollum's hands, then go for his fat-ass forehead, which gleams in the sunlight because he's always sweating a little bit for some odd reason. And lastly, target his man-titties to finish the job. We end up killing him 2 more times just for safe measure, 1 kill per Gollum man-titty, then an extra one for that 5 head he wields. We waste absolutely no time in going down to get a truffle worm to get that special little mount from Duke Fishrin. This is going to be extremely hard work. Truffle worms are elusive, difficult to catch creatures who hardly spawn to begin with, making the job extra difficult to— Oh, damn. Okay, wow, fuck, that works out. We quickly prepare a large arena for Dick Pisserin and deck it out with buffs so we're prepared to fight him at a moment's notice. We wait until morning and quickly spawn him in, swinging our flower pow with all of the might we've been holding in our gamer hearts. The first phase goes swimmingly. Get it? Because he's a fish. Fish swim sometimes, I think. That's why the joke's funny, because the second phase also goes decently, all career crippling puns aside. It is the third phase where our heart and soul are removed from our bodies, pegged in front of us, and are put back into our bodies for us to live with for the rest of our lives. Why? We do some quick reforging to make us feel entirely deranged at the rolls, hopefully making us insane enough to defeat the giant flying McDonald's Filet-O-Fish. We summon him up yet again, lo and behold, first phase, great, second phase, okay, final phase, fuck! God damn it! His fucking health! We're calm, we're okay. Let's try again, shall we? First phase, great, second phase, first phase, great, second phase, mediocre 9-to-5 office number crunching job, final phase? Please God, final phase. Yes! First try! On our clear-cut first attempt, we managed to defeat Dick Pisserin with absolutely no struggle at all, meaning we have the cute Fishrin mount to send to the mines for our profit. We also managed to get the one thing I was in exponential fear of grinding out this entire time, only on the first try. The motherfucking flare-on, baby! Life is good and not unhinged and depressing at all. With this being said, we don't skip a beat on marching directly into the lunatic cultist's humble abode, meaning his fine-ass mother's basement, kiss his mom on the lips in front of him, and attempt to look through his search history in order to enrage him. We all know that the reason the lunatic cultist is a lunatic cultist and not just a regular average run-of-the-mill cultist is because he holds no regard at all whatsoever for simply even switching to incognito mode, nor does he clear his plagued search history. Lunatic cultist, try absolutely fucking deranged cultist. It doesn't matter how much hentai this guy looks up, he won't clear the old history for anything, which is precisely why we have to give him the old Yeller treatment. Surprisingly enough, this battle went fantastic, even without a speedy mount to assist us. We pummel the cultist with our newly implemented flare on and make short work of him. However, not all is shiny, bright, and dandy, as we've immediately spawned into enemy pillar territory. Oh no, these aren't ordinary pillars, they're annoying mobile game ad pillars! We start with the solar pillar, which we see resembles village and settlement building mobile games. We see a crawltipede literally stabbing the infant child of a Dracanian. Holy fuck! my son! What are you doing? Somebody call the cops! Oh my god! What's the big deal? I have a settlement with over 2 million power. I get to be the king in my land with all this power and choose from a variety of... We crush the pillar and swiftly move on to the next. We quickly stumble into the vortex pillar, which we can clearly see resembles strongly suggestive content with something that has nothing to do with the picture or video on display. Here at the vortex pillar, we can see their advertisement has an anime woman busting it wide open with their armpits of all things exposed and gleaming with sweat in the sunlight. We can see this and immediately and safely assume, oh, cool, hentai advertisement. However, when we take a closer look, there's silly little phrases such as, complete the quest, best RPG of 2022. Okay, what the fuck does that have to do with an anime woman's armpits sweating onto her giant anime boobs? I don't understand. Help me understand! We quickly kill the pillar before we think ourselves to death. This leads us directly over to the Nebula Pillar game advertisement, which is a video of a gun hovering forward toward two portals. One saying, boost firepower by 5,000, and the other one saying, divide firepower by 10 million. The player in question is clearly stupefied. What do I do? And stumbles through the clearly awful, terrible, game-busting choice, losing the game before we see the inevitable, enraging message. This game is so hard. I bet you can't beat it. How in the fuck is this game even possible? To top it off, even if you do install this godforsaken app, you're greeted with a 30-second unskippable advertisement every 30 goddamn seconds. I fucking hate mobile game advertisements. We destroy the pillar to void our world of this nightmare, then quickly charge over to our final pillar. The final pillar, the Stardust pillar, is any game advertisement with an absolute infatuation for copying other games. Specifically Among Us, Baldi's Basics, and Poppy Playtime. Listen, I don't know what the fuck the deal is, but for the love of God, it's a bit in your goddamn face when you're mindlessly scrolling through whatever social media you use and see an advertisement for Imposter in Bald Head's Classroom. Vote Poopy Play Hour out of the ship. It makes you lose half of your brain cells every single time without goddamn fail. To make matters worse, every texture is ripped directly from another game. It is filled to the brim with ads. And there are 10 million billion games that are exactly the same. Originality is quite scarce these days, and so is our will to live because of these obnoxious, downright objectionable fucking mobile game advertisements. Soon enough, the Moonlord spawns in, ready to grab us with his extra large turbo-strength squid man mitts. To the dismay of the Moonlord, the people watching this, and eventually to my own physical well-being, we make mention of how the Moonlord has fingernails that are not talked about or noticed enough. Man, those bad boys need a cut. Those bad boys are claws. The Moonlord got some claws. In a blind state of embarrassment and rage, the Moonlord wholly and entirely zaps us out of existence, disintegrating not only our bodies on a physical level, but also our emotional state, as it was raining, meaning we had every bit of a chance to defeat him as we normally do. We take the time to quickly prepare a nurse box to teleport back to and heal at, do some quick accessory management and family-destroying, debt-inducing reforging. We are all beefed up with our accessories, potions, buffs, nurse box, and pure gamer rage at our disposal. It is time. We sleep until it rains, then quickly pop out of bed and use our sigil to summon up the Moonlord. We begin flying in one direction, attacking the hands as much as possible and trying to keep their health at a similar level in order to hopefully not have to deal with two tremendous flying fucking plasma squid eyeballs. We try our best to do damage to the top eye as well, but throughout taking the various eyeballs out of commission, we come into many, dare I say, ass-clenching close calls. So ass-clenching, in fact, that shitting is no longer an option for us. It has closed up entirely. Allow me to demonstrate how and why this event may have occurred. Ah! Fuck! Please! Eventually, we get his stupid forehead eyeball out of its stupid forehead eyeball socket and proceed to flail our way into his heart as desperately as possible. The clock is ticking and so is our HP. We slowly chip away the health of his heart, and with a few more slightly, maybe a tiny bit disgruntling close calls, fuck! Help! And some totally expert tier dodging, we managed to scrape by, hanging on by a fucking thread, and damage the calamari moon squid enough to eventually watch him spontaneously combust, which could only mean one thing. We are now officially basking in our flails only glory as we have now crushed the Moonlord entirely. We fly around screaming in victory. We have done it. With the Moonlord officially being defeated in this flails-only hellscape, I believe that just about concludes today's challenge. Today, we managed to conquer Terraria in Master Mode with only flails, and if there's one thing that I've learned from doing flails only, it's that flails aren't that bad. I'm just really awful at using them correctly. Never in my life has a mini shark or any other long-distance ranged Terraria weapon sounded better to have in my tiny Terrarian man hands. Life feels slightly more complete with the Moonlord being defeated in this run. I can actually feel a little bit now, but we'll see how the Get Fixed Boy seed carries cares to retort to that. Coming somewhat soon to a theater probably near you, I would hope. This video did take a very long time to make, so if you'd like to show your support, please do be sure to drop a like and subscribe for more content like this, as well as comment down in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts on this video. Thank you all so much again for watching, and I'll be seeing you all next time. WaffleTime Flail Master Edition out.